In the ever-changing world of desktop technology, one name continues to stand strong: the Mac Mini. For years, the small desktop has defied expectations, proving that compact doesn't mean underpowered. Now, as we approach 2025, the buzz is building around Apple's next bold step, the M5 Mac Mini. Apple hasn't officially announced it yet, but based on insider leaks, chip roadmap trends, and past design patterns, we're starting to get a pretty clear picture of what's next. The upcoming Mac Mini, powered by the M5 chip, may not just be an upgrade. It could be a turning point for compact desktops. So what makes the M5 Mac Mini so special? Let's break it down. We begin with a bit of context. The Mac Mini has always had an interesting role in Apple's lineup. It began as a low-cost entry point into the Mac ecosystem. But over the years, it matured. It's no longer just for casual users or hobbyists. With the right configuration, the Mac Mini can now go head-to-head with much more expensive machines. And that shift started gaining momentum with the release of the M1 and then the M2 chips. But things really changed in late 2024. That's when Apple released the Mac Mini M4 with a redesigned aluminum chassis that echoed the Mac Studio. Improved cooling and better performance, the M4 model felt like a statement. It was beautiful, compact, efficient, and surprisingly powerful. Apple proved once again that you don't need a big desktop to get serious work done. The M4 model launched with a 10-core chip, 16 gigabytes of unified memory, and 256 gigabytes of SSD storage, all for $599. For many users, that setup was more than enough. But for those who needed extra horsepower, there was the Pro version. It started at $1,399, offered 24 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage, and blurred the line between entry-level and pro-grade desktops. That brings us to the M5. So far, all signs suggest that Apple is going even further this time. First, let's talk about performance. The M5 chip is expected to be a major leap forward. While Apple may retain the 10-core CPU setup in the standard version, it will likely use an entirely new chip architecture that's tuned for better power efficiency, faster response times, and smarter AI integration. What does that mean in real-world terms? Faster app launches, smoother multitasking, and better thermal control. But the real performance gains might come from the GPU. Apple is reportedly moving from a 10-core GPU in the base model to a 12-core setup in the M5. This is big news. For anyone who edits video, works with 3D models, or just wants faster rendering times, these improvements won't just make the Mac Mini faster, they'll make it feel more responsive, especially under heavy load. Now, if you're a power user, the M5 Pro version might be where things get really exciting. Leaks suggest the M5 Pro could ship with a 12-core CPU, but it's not just about the number of cores. Apple is expected to use a mix of high-performance and efficiency cores to deliver speed when you need it, and quiet background processing when you don't. The GPU on the Pro model might jump up to 18 or even 20 cores. This would put it closer to the Mac Studio in terms of performance. And if true, it means the Mac Mini Pro could handle demanding creative tasks like high-erase video editing, advanced graphic design, or music production without breaking a sweat. So, what about memory? Apple's unified memory system has already changed the way people think about RAM. Instead of relying on separate RAM and GPU memory, everything is shared in a single pool. This allows faster data access and smoother performance. The base M5 Mini is likely to keep the 16 gigabyte setup, which is already quite solid for everyday use. But for those who need more, the M5 Pro might start at 24 gigabytes and go all the way to 64 gigabytes. That's workstation-level power in a body that fits in the palm of your hand. Next, let's tackle a common frustration: storage. The 256 gigabytes base storage in previous models worked for some, but many users found it limiting, especially with today's larger apps and high-erase files. Thankfully, reports suggest Apple may finally raise the base to 512 gigabytes in the standard M5. That alone would be a welcome change. Pro version could go even further. It might start at 1 terabyte and offer configuration options up to 4 terabytes. That would make it perfect for professionals dealing with massive project files or media libraries. What's a desktop without solid connectivity? Thankfully, Apple doesn't seem to be cutting corners here. In fact, it looks like they're planning to expand what's already a strong offering. The current Mac Mini lineup includes Ethernet, HDMI, and several Thunderbolt 4 ports. These are crucial for people who work with multiple displays, fast storage devices, and pro-grade accessories. With the M5 Mini, Thunderbolt 4 is expected to remain standard. But the Pro version could jump to Thunderbolt 5. That would mean even faster data transfer, better external display support, and overall more flexibility for creative professionals. One feature that's expected to continue is the front-facing USB-C ports. These might not sound like a big deal, but for many users, they're a huge quality-of-life feature. Easy access, quick plug-in, no reaching behind the desk. Now, here's something that may divide opinions: the power button. Currently, it sits at the bottom rear of the device. It's not the most convenient placement. And from what we're hearing, Apple isn't planning to change that. While that may seem like a missed opportunity, it's likely that third-party docks and accessories will offer better ergonomics if this remains the case. Let's now shift to design. The 2024 Mac Mini redesign was widely praised. It featured a sleek aluminum unibody, improved thermals, and a minimalist aesthetic that fit perfectly in any workspace. Apple rarely makes dramatic design changes year after year, especially when they already have something that works. So don't expect a major visual overhaul in the M5 model. However, we could see minor tweaks, maybe improved airflow, quieter fans, or subtle chassis adjustments to improve cooling and performance over time. Apple tends to iterate smartly rather than change for the sake of change. And now we reach the software. Hardware is only half the story. Apple's strength has always been in how seamlessly the software works with the hardware. The M5 Mac Mini will likely run macOS 15 or even macOS 16, depending on when it launches. Either way, these operating systems are expected to bring a wave of new features. AI will play a major role. We're talking about smart window placement, adaptive multitasking, predictive app suggestions, and deeper iCloud integration. Likely be smarter background processing, voice commands, and improved automation. This won't just make using the Mac Mini faster, it'll make it feel personal, like it's learning from you and adjusting to your workflow. Developers will also see benefits. Tools like Xcode are getting smarter with every macOS update. And the M5 chip's neural processing capabilities will unlock faster code compilation, better previews, and smoother app testing environments. And for creative pros, enhanced external display management will be a game changer. Whether you're working with dual 4K monitors or ultra-wide screens, the M5 Mini will offer the kind of display flexibility usually found in much more expensive machines. The first half of this story ends here. We've seen how Apple's engineering, decisions, chip development, software ecosystem are all coming together in the M5 Mac Mini. It's no longer just a compact desktop. It's shaping up to be a serious machine for serious users. In the next section, we'll explore the release timeline, expected pricing, value comparisons, user profiles, and whether you should upgrade now or wait. The second half will also highlight how the M5 Mac Mini fits into the broader desktop landscape in 2025 and what it means for Apple's long-term strategy. But already, one thing is clear. The M5 Mac Mini is more than just another upgrade. It's a clear sign that Apple believes compact desktops still matter. And in a world of ever-changing tech, that's a powerful message.